Hey everybody. So I just got done watching episode 3 of season 3 of the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. Don't rock the boat. This episode was a key because people was giving it, taking it, giving it left and motherfucking right. And I'm glad they ended with checking the fuck out of Giselle. So we pick back up at the dinner, right? And they're all getting on Leah about Leah saying she was bored or whatever, this, that, and the other. First of all, Giselle, Portia, all y'all were madder than Alexia, who was actually telling the story, okay? That Leah said she was bored with. Now, did Leah mean that? Yes. Was she rude as hell? Yes. But the bullshit that y'all kept carrying on, well, go home then. Well, go home then. Well, go home then. First of all, quit acting like y'all done gone from Atlanta to Miami or DC to LA or LA to Dallas. Like, you can't just go the fuck back home when your ass is in Thailand. Like that's a couple of hours on a flight. Like, what the fuck? Like, I just can't stand the hypocrisy of it all. Anyway, so now the other part, speaking of hypocrisy, the problem with Leah is that she was talking all that shit in front of Marisol's drunk ass, but Marisol ain't that drunk that she don't understand the words you saying. So Marisol brought it up and she was like, "You said you were bored, Leah." She had confirmed that, and she was like, Leah was like, "No, I didn't. No, I didn't." And she was like, "You just are you kidding me right now?" And I was like, Leah, the ease in that scene with which you continue to lie, despite literally every other breath, even after Marisol called you out, like, yeah, I was bored. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Like, that's concerning to me. Somebody that can lie like that. But then again, you're in good company. Anyway, they eventually leave this rest. No, they don't leave the restaurant. So we're still at Candace's organized event, and there, she goes to the bathroom with Leah because she don't like the fact they were beating up on her and whatever. So Candace disappears, and she goes and she basically goes to check on the lady boys, who would be like the akin to what we would call drag queens over here. And I'm not gonna lie, there are some really, really beautiful ones or whatever. And I was excited until Candace said, "I saw y'all in the video, but I'm gonna perform with y'all." And yes, I still see this Candace performing with them as opposed to them performing with Candace. Okay, Candace decides she's gonna come out. So they're prepped for like a why is my they're prepped for a drag show. By prep to mean the girl. So all of a sudden everybody's like, "Where's Candace? Where's Candace?" And so the lady boys whatever come out and they, are dancing or whatever. And then one of them falls. One of them falls. And then I was just like, they fell. And then Portia did what is like the best and worst thing you can do. She was like, "Ooh, ooh, that's okay. That's all right. Yup, you can." And for some reason, that shit cracked me up. It reminded me of like when you mess up your line, like your Easter speech at church, and you didn't really feel bad until somebody tried to make you feel bad. Anyway, and so they get up, whatever. Candace comes out singing, right? And they ask Leah, well, Candace says, "My outfit is giving like marshmallow, something realness." Candace, Candace, first of all, let's address the fact you came out with a microphone and you were lip syncing again. And you keep trying to push this single, this EP, whatever the fuck it is, on us. And then you don't even have the decency to sing with your real voice during these opportunities. I mean, like, I go in on Candy Burris for her voice, but at least Candy, at least Candy uses her fucking voice. I wish you would lip sync, but like, what the fuck are you doing dressed like a fucking loofah? A loofah script, that shit was a mess. It didn't match with other people. Like, she didn't even try to do like no purple or no black. It would have still been ugly, but at least would have matched with the lady boys. Lady boys, if I was y'all, I would not dance behind her. But then again, you get an American audience, and they may look y'all up. Y'all all right with me? Anyway, they leave, and Candace, I guess, thinks she has proven to somebody she can sing while she's lip syncing, which Marisol called out. Marisol, like I said, is drunk, maybe drinking all the time, but she is very clear. Okay. So anyway, the next morning, like everybody's like misplaced. They're either hungover, this, that, and the other. Heather's the only one who shows up at breakfast by herself, and she's talking to herself. Anyway, they decide they're going on the yacht. They're going on a boat trip. First of all, none of these events can be anything but a goddamn mess. So, Candace decides she is going to wear a 5 foot long sun hat, and nothing screamed I need attention more than that hat. Now, Marisol did admit that she had a similar one that she had packed, and then when she saw Candace had hers on, she said, I decided to keep it in my bag because that looks a mess. And Portia was just like, seriously, girl, did you really need a hat like that? Like, Candace, okay. Anyway, they get on the yacht. Now, in the words of Portia, she said housewives do not do well on boat trips. And when they got to playing that footage back, not only of Atlanta, but the girls trip from last season or the first season with Kenya, then the Salt, the New York chicks, the New Jersey. I mean, they just went through the whole shebang. I was like, yeah, y'all don't do well on boats. But it didn't have to be that way. So, there is alcohol flowing. They bring back up Leah being bored last night. And by they, I mean Giselle. Giselle starts going in, well, I don't understand why you don't leave. I don't understand why you don't leave. She was like, first of all, I told y'all when I first got here and they played the footage that I really had a hard time deciding whether or not I wanted to come because my last season was really tough for a lot of reasons. And then for y'all to use that against me and to continue to bring it up, because she did apologize for it over and over again at the dinner table last night, the night before. But Leah, you was also like lying about saying it under your breath and getting it. I was confused. So they keep beating up on her. Finally, Leah just is like, fuck it. And she goes to the top of the boat. She said she's going to the bathroom. She goes to the bathroom. She comes back. She said, okay, well, basically, y'all bitches made me start my period. And Portia goes, I didn't touch that vagina. That ain't how that happened. But Candace like, y'all stressing her out that she is menstruating. So anyway, she goes back upstairs. And she disappears for a little bit. Now, she's disappearing in the hot tub taking selfies. You know what, Leah? I ain't even mad at you. Because what you did at that point was extract yourself the way I do when shit is just bullshit. Salah will just disappear. I ain't one for yelling and getting all rah-rah in people's face. If I ever get to that point, you have literally pushed me to the fucking brink. And there's no doubt in my mind that you deserve it and you will never get an apology. Okay? So, if I ever come up on you deserve it. Know that. Anyway, so she extracts herself, right? Everybody else down there arguing and fighting about how she should be treated, and she up there chilling, talking to the yacht staff. Anyway, so Candace starts crying. Now, I'm gonna try to give this one to Candace, okay? It's just that Candace cries so goddamn much. And so she goes, well, I had a hard time coming on this trip too. She was like, and y'all are yelling at Leah for expressing her feelings. And a lot of the feelings that I have, I've kept inside. I get a lot of anxiety around being around new people, around people I don't know. I've been calling my mom every morning crying, and y'all don't know that because I haven't been showing that. I'll give you that, Candace. Because to bully somebody for feeling uncomfortable, feeling upset, absolutely. And you did the right thing by taking up for somebody, knowing you felt the same way, and not pulling a Giselle Bryant, okay? And making it about somebody else. You made it about yourself, but nevertheless, I understand your point. Your first mistake was going to your mother to call her for help. She is the source of much of your pain and chaos in your personal life. Okay, so I think that was part of the mistake. Number two, this whole I don't feel comfortable around new people. Let me say this and make it very clear. This is a girl's trip to Thailand, which is a spinoff of the larger Real Housewives reality show. It's only a few episodes. It's not something you had to do. You're upset probably because you and your husband are beefing. You and your husband, I would say, whether you say it on TV or not, are beefing because you chose to go on a trip with Giselle so you could have some extra attention around your single and to make some more money. And for that, that's why you're emotional every morning. But your mama can't help you, honey. You need to call another psychologist. There's a reason why psychologists are not supposed to see their families as patients. Anyway, so her and Portia get into it, and Portia was like, "But you're not taking it out on people." She was like, "It doesn't matter. It doesn't." Portia was like, "I don't like certain things either, but I don't take it out on people." And she was like, "Okay, Portia, I'm not you. Okay, stop projecting yourself onto me." And Portia was like, "That's a buzzword. That's a buzzword." And Candace goes, "What's a buzzword?" And she was like, "What you just said." I said, "Portia." I said, "Portia, you are so dumb. You can't even remember." Like, Portia. And Portia, you know what? You've always been dumb, so whatever. And Portia, I like you, but if you keep siding with Giselle, even in these few episodes, I'ma really not like your ass. Okay? I'm gonna need you to bring it back in. So anyway, so then they get past that, right? They go to do the game with Marisol and Alexia, and they have like Cuban sandwiches. By the way, just so you know, the Cuban sandwich that is found, in different places like LA, I mean, around the country, New York, Miami, is an American creation that Cuban immigrants to America created early 20th century, but it's not actually, couldn't go to Cuba and find a Cuban sandwich. Just letting you know. Anyway, it's probably the most American Cuban thing you can do. Anyway, so they basically give them like these Spanish phrases that are like slang or whatever to look out for. So they go around. It's kind of fun. Everybody was having a good time. Everybody was having a good time. You know, Marisol, she stay lit, okay? Alexia don't really get in it. Like, she don't. She just kind of like whatever. So everybody's laughing. Everybody's joking. Giselle comes out of nowhere and goes, "Oh, Heather and Whitney, last time I heard, y'all had decided not to talk about y'all's beef on camera." What the fuck? First of all, this is between two cousins. Bitch, you ain't related to them. 3, what the fuck they got to do with anything? And 4, you a motherfucking liar again. Like, this bitch stays lying. I can't imagine what swirls around in that fucking dome of hers. Like, then Heather and Whitney get into it. Whitney calls her a hypocrite because her name is still on the scroll as part of the Mormon church. And Whitney's been out 15 years of the Mormon church, but hasn't been able to get her name taken off the church's roll. And she did explain in the confessional that as long as your name is on there, they can use you to lobby for their policies, to, do those like sort of underage marriage ceremonies, so on and so forth. I get that. But Whitney, yours came off the roll 6 months before this was taped, according to Heather, and you did not correct her. And Heather's like, you know how hard it is to get your name off the roll. Then Leah goes, "I'm Catholic. I thought they were crazy." And Candace goes, "Catholics are crazy, but Mormons are crazy." I said, what the hell is going on? Giselle, first of all, let me tell you one thing. I don't like the fact that you're referring to yourself as a suntan Barbie, trying to give people the fucking impression that you are white with just a tan. I don't like it. I don't think it's cute. Let me tell you something else. You a ugly bitch. You are ugly, bitch. And I'm gonna tell you, and not because of the way you act. No, you are ugly. Like, all that shit caked up on your face looks a goddamn mess. It's not just your hair. You're not a pretty woman. Everything about your bitterness, everything about your lies and your evil spirit are bloating in parts of your face that don't belong, in your neck, in your ankles, everything. You are an ugly person, and it is you like you are a witch. Bitch, go somewhere and cast a spell, because I am so fucking over it. So she creates all that chaos and confusion. So Marisol and Alexia try to get their party back, And they're just like, look, they're gonna stand there arguing. We're gonna keep drinking. Candace and Leah go to the side, and Candace says, well, she accused my husband of inappropriate behavior or whatever. She said, oh, really? She was like, and she's in here making a big deal about the fact that I said I was bored. Let me tell you something. I don't know where Leah got that from, but when I tell you Leah grew fucking wings getting back down there in front of Giselle, she said, how dare you, okay? Call me out for saying I'm bored. And you've accused her husband of sexual assault. She was like, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. So Candace comes down. She said, no, you can ask Candace what I said. And Candace said, I'm here. She said, no, you accused my husband of being inappropriate. She said, no, he made me feel uncomfortable. Bitch, you done said that on this trip multiple times. And Candace was absolutely fucking right. When Candace got your ass and said to you, let me tell you something. You didn't have to say anything sexual. You implied it. Yes, when you said that he asked you to go and talk, yo, get to the room, nobody else was fucking there. You said you felt uncomfortable, didn't tell him, or was still smiling in his face at different events, acting like nothing had ever fucking happened. You didn't have to say that. You implied it and you kept that lie going. And that lie and sham of a fucking marriage that Robin and Juan have, and Juan don't even like that bitch, to keep her from testifying when this motherfucker ends up in court. Yeah, I call all them T's, okay? Two, your face, you can tell when Giselle is lies and gets red. And Leah was in her confessional, was like, yeah, neck. Yes, go off, Leah. Leah was still at the end of the episode in the bathroom with Candace, unbeknownst to Giselle and Portia down there playing around with Pepsi. Let me tell you something. Leah was like, I don't understand why people keep letting her get away with this. And Candace was like, don't take it personal. She's just a bitter woman. And so Leah was basically like, how not to take it personal? If she's attacking you personally, it is personal. Just because she do it to everybody don't make it not personal. It makes it a personality fucking defect, though. Bitch, get the fuck out of here. And so she said, well, how do you deal with it? She was like, no, check her. But just know she's going to keep doing stuff. Giselle need her ass whooped is what the fuck she need. And I tell you what, she slip up on Portia. You know, Portia is not a violent person. But Portia has been in situations where Portia has shown, if need be, I can throw them hands. And when I throw them, trust me, they land. Okay? So if I was Giselle, I'd slow my roll. But you see, she up Portia's ass. Now, I'm going to wait for the rest of these to come out. This episode was funny. I had a really long... Anyway, y'all be sure to like and subscribe. I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.